As a foot and ankle specialist, I wanted to talk you through the best Hoka shoes for plantar fasciitis, as I know it's a really popular brand and you might have heard that it can give some relief from those symptoms that really affect your heel. Before we go into detail on the shoes, I just want to convey that this is for educational purposes only and shouldn't substitute medical advice. Shoes are part of the puzzle, but not the overall solution for curing plantar fasciitis. However, in some cases they can provide some symptom relief. So if we look at two main types of plantar fasciitis first, it can be helpful to consider if you have more compression type plantar fasciitis or more stretch type plantar fasciitis. So compression type is more when you initiate contact with the ground. When the heel presses into the ground, that's when you get your worst type of pain. Or stretch type is when you move through to the foot is flat on the ground, you go to push off. That stretches the plantar fascia and that can exacerbate your pain. Now it is possible to have both at the same time, but try and think about if one is more affected than the other, because that influences what shoe you might choose. So first of all, I want to talk you through the Hoka Bondi 9. So this is one of the most max cushion Hoka shoes on the market. It has a 5mm drop, so that's the difference in height from the back to the front, and the lower the drop, it gives you a more even distribution of pressure across your foot. So that's really helpful if you've got more of that heel compression type plantar fasciitis. And with 43mm of cushioning underneath your heel, it can really help absorb that vibration, that impact when you initiate contact with the ground. Not only that, it's got a nice broad base of support, which increases the amount of contact that you have with the ground, making it a bit more stable. Has an upgraded supercritical foam in the cushioning, which means that it's a little bit softer, really like a cloud-like feel, so it's really comfortable without being too mushy underneath your foot. It's increased the amount of space in the toe box compared to what we saw in the Hoka Bondi 8, and it does come in a wide version as well for those of you who need it. It's got a nice snug fit in the midfoot and in the heel. It can be used as a lifestyle shoe for standing and for walking for long periods of time, or if you want a shoe that also covers running, it can be used for those easy runs, recovery runs. It's a little bit heavy for those faster up-tempo workouts, but as I say, if you have really irritable heel compression plantar fasciitis, you may get some symptom relief using the Hoka Bondi 9. There's links to it in the description below if you want to check out the latest prices on Amazon. Then I want to talk about a more supportive type shoe, and that's the Hoka Gaviota 5. So it looks very similar to the Bondi 9, but it has a different support system within it. So it has a H frame where you've got denser foam on either side of the midsole and across the middle, which helps to provide torsional stability. So this is a shoe that provides stability, try to keep you focused on being centered in the shoe as you move, and therefore not only is it helpful for heel compression plantar fasciitis, but also for that stretch type plantar fasciitis, as it really focuses on keeping you centered in the shoe, helping to control those pronation moments, which may lead to overstretching of the plantar fascia and irritate symptoms. So we've got this broad base of support, this H-frame structure, we've got more rigidity in the heel cup to help cradle your ankle, help to control those pronation moments. Got a 6mm drop, so just 1mm more than the 5mm that we see in the Bondi 9. And overall we consider 4 to 6mm a relatively low drop. Moving beyond 8mm is moving towards a high drop shoe. In the toe box we've got the best fit of all the Hoka shoes, so we've got loads of space in the toe box in the normal fit, and it comes in a wide fit for those of you with a broader forefoot. It got nice snug lockdown in the midfoot and the heel as well. Similar to what we see in the Bondi 9, while it has a classic CM EVA cushioning rather than the supercritical foam, it's more for those who want a softer shoe that's a bit more comfortable. It's not as responsive as some other shoes on the market. So when it comes to walking and standing, an excellent option. When it comes to running, it's more of those easy runs, recovery runs, and those longer distances. It doesn't have that up-tempo feel to kick on and then faster workouts. Then finally we've got the Hoka Clifton 10. So it had a major upgrade from the Clifton 9, which was the most popular shoe in the Hoka series. It now has an 8mm difference from the back to the front of the shoe, so it's slightly different than the other two shoes. Now if you're standing for long periods of time, it's just important to keep aware that if you have a higher drop shoe, it can put a bit of pressure on the forefoot, so if you have sensitivity around there you may not enjoy it. Otherwise we've got the CM EVA foam that we see in the Gaviota 5. It's more responsive, more springy than the other two shoes, so it transitions you very quickly from the back to the front of the shoe. Therefore it's more beneficial for those of you with more heel compressive type symptoms, as it's got plenty of cushioning with 42mm in the rear foot. So that's ample amount to absorb that vibration and impact without sinking into the shoe too much. So it transitions you much quicker from the back to the front of the shoe than we see in the Bondi 9, as a result of having a more aggressive forefoot rocker and a better heel bevel at the back. So you're more likely to spend less time on the heel when you're walking or when you're running, and it's got a narrower fit than the other two shoes on top, so it's just something to be aware of, but it does come in a wide version as well. So this is an excellent shoe if you want a slightly lighter shoe than the other two, which is roughly 20 to 30 grams lighter than both the Gaviota and the Bondi 9. It's a bit more responsive of a shoe, so if you're a quicker walker, or if you want more of an up-tempo workout shoe or a workhorse of a runner, then this can be an excellent option for you. However, just one of the downsides of this shoe is that it's got a narrower fit on top. I'll pop the link down in the description if you want to check out the latest prices. If you want a lighter version of this shoe that's a bit more responsive, then you can look towards the Clifton 9, which I'll pop a link to in there as well. So there you have 3 excellent options from the Hoka range in terms of helping to provide some relief to plantar fasciitis. As I mentioned before, these are not the complete solution to your problems, but it's something to keep in mind, and therefore it's just educational advice only. If you want to drop any questions below about the shoes, I'm happy to answer them. I can't give patient-specific advice, however I can try and give general guidance where possible. Otherwise, if you found the video interesting or helpful, like and share and subscribing is really helpful. Thank you very much for watching.